Hello people, welcome. Excuse me while I'm still setting this up somewhat. Let's get to you guys first here. Old Gamer Dude, hello. Andy, welcome. Hey Avenger, that Mars horror thriller I watched is Fort Solis. Okay, it's only a couple of hours long. I remember thinking it would be funny watching Avenger play it. It might be. It might be, I've never heard of it. Mr. Avenger, are you still awake or did you get some sleep? Goodness gracious. I got some sleep, of course. I did. Don't you worry about that, Silverspeed. For some reason, I need very, very little sleep. Very little sleep. It's one of my traits, my go-to traits. Sleep is overrated in my opinion in any case. Hey Miranda, my sweetheart. Okay, so here's the deal. I thought we'd do something fun, something out of the line, so to speak. You're lucky then? Yeah, absolutely. It definitely helps with things, you know. Okay, let me turn this down for a little bit. So, something different. As you guys know, I'm currently working on this Scum series, this video series, and because we make our own soundtracks. So, today, we are going to record the intro that is going to be played in the first episode, in the, well, intro, in the first cinematic that's going to play, and I'll take you through it. I did some work yesterday, last night. I did the drums, I did the bass, so today we are going to tackle the guitars, as I like to call them. Now I just need to get myself set up over here because I am not ready whatsoever. He never sleeps. He's a vampire. Yeah. But like a special one, I guess. Oh, it all makes sense now. Yep. No, but seriously, like I've been like this forever. Since I can think, since I was basically like 4, 5, 6 years old. I was always the one going to bed the last. And I was always the one being up first, and I never got tired. Right, so let me see how we do this here. First of all, I have to make sure that nothing is going to be doubled, because... yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so this is cool. This is alright. Then we have this over here. That's no longer needed. We have this here. This streamer. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. We got this. We got this. Alrighty. There's one thing I do want to do. That's important. Where do I do that? That is the big question. Streamer mode. There it is. Yes. Enable it, please. Thank you. Okay, cool. Now everything should be alright. Now let's see over here. This is okay. This is cool. Alright. So, let's jump right in. Shut up. Alright, so let's jump right in. So the streaming thing, this is the first thing I have to do. Okay, this is like very, very, very complicated shit. So if we switch over here, this is obviously my recording program right now. The very first thing, so you can actually hear something from this, as I have to set up this restream thingy here. This is going to send everything to OBS, and you have to set it to local broadcast. Otherwise, you will not be able to hear what's going on inside of this little chamber here. So this is the master drum track that has been programmed, and it's a very, very real sounding thing. Let me close this here. Then we have this right here. This is the bass master track. I have made a little error over here, so I had to do a second track, but that's okay. Nothing too crazy here. I think we are just going to record, because this is a very long song. This is like, it runs for about, what is that? Like almost 10 minutes long, okay? We are not going to record all of this. This is nonsense. I think we are going to go to about here somewhere. This is where I kind of like was, okay, we don't need all of this. This is nonsense. This is like 7 minutes long. I think this is going to be more than enough. So, the very first thing we are going to do is we are going to... oh yeah, and by the way, this is the amplifier of my choice. It's a very, very nice one. It's a really, really cool amplifier. It simulates the famous re-axis from Mesa Boogie. This is a very, very nice amplifier. So now what we're going to do is we are going to have a listen to the track as it is right now. Let me just reset all of this here. So this is just the drums, of course, and just the bass playing. So let's have a listen to that. I'm just going to turn it down like a little bit because it might be super loud. Let's have a listen to this first, okay? So this is a song that I've obviously you want to this is like there's a little bit more to it than just recording, of course. Like if you do something like this, you kind of like want to create some kind of narrative, right? So you kind of go with what you have in mind. You have some kind of vision in your mind, some kind of visuals in your mind. Then you go ahead and record this, and then you think of music. That's how I do it, at least, right? So and then you think of something that might be fitting in your kind of way, and then you kind of go ahead and just try to do that. Now, I think this is very fitting for the first episode. So let's have a listen to that first. It's, like I said, just the bass right now and the drums. So let's have a listen to this here. Okay, it's nothing crazy going on. This is just like normal stuff. And there are the drums. That's cool. Sounds okay, like the bass isn't too loud. The drums are fine. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that sounds good. It's going to sound a lot more alive when we add the other instruments, of course. Okay. I'm just going to wait till that break now. There you go, and the timing is right. There you go. Sounds good to me. Yep. Yeah, this is already pretty good. I like it. Okay, cool. Sounds good to me. So Silver Speeden says, so when he says I'm going for some Captain Morgan, it's really some virgin blood or something. Only God knows. No, it's not that. You work with this kind of stuff, right? Yeah, I do. This is basically my job. That's true. Oh, the good old instrument over here. This is my. Oh God. This is my guitar. That's kind of like in the. Oh God. So let me get into position here so I have enough space for everything. Okay, it looks good to me. Great stuff. So I will have to mute myself on the microphone when we are recording a track over here. Otherwise you will hear this here. And you don't want to hear that. I don't know if you can even hear that. The noise gate might cancel it. I can see that. Sounds nice. Yeah, it's going to sound a lot nicer. So let's test our instrument over here, because I do want to get this right. This is like where you set everything up. I want to make sure that this is completely fine. So we have it running in stereo, which is cool. We have a couple of different options over here. I'm going to go through this. You kind of want to select something that's kind of fitting. So let's try and figure out if this is going to be working out here just from the tone itself. Okay, so hold on a second. So this sounds already pretty good to me, but it lacks a little bit of body, I would say. So what I would do in order to make this a little bit more fancy, we have so this basically simulates cabs, okay, which is your boxes basically, right, where the sound comes out of. So we have a couple of different options over here. I currently have selected this Marshall 4x12, which is a pretty cool cab. We have this one here. This one is a 75. Okay, this is complicated stuff. You don't need to know about this, but I think this is going to fit a little bit better. It is probably going to make everything a little bit brighter. Let's see how this sounds. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this. Maybe the other one was a little bit better. But we can also adjust the settings here on the fly. There's like, obviously you have your typical EQ stuff like treble, which is your highs. You got your mids, you got your bass, you got your lead 1 and 2 drive because it's 2 different channels over here. And you have your master volume, you have your presence. And this wonderful D voice here is basically another separate equalizer, but that's... it doesn't concern us right now. We are just going to leave this as it is. You don't want to go too high with the gain, by the way. It's always better to dial it a little bit back because it becomes too muddy at some point. You know, you have to be a little bit more precise, yes, but it's going to sound a lot better in the end. So, now I just have to remember how to even play this in the first place because I noticed that I have forgotten a couple of things. The very first thing we want to do before we even take or make a recording or make a track, we are going to make sure that our instrument is in tune. So let me go ahead and do that first. Okay, sorry about that. That's always very annoying, but it has to be. All right then. I think we are pretty much done. Now just let me adjust the volume here because it's compared to this here, it seems to be pretty loud. I'm going to go like one below. Hey D-Wood, welcome, welcome. And apart from that, we are pretty much done and set up for everything. So let's see. What I usually do is like I pride myself on being able to do everything in one take. I don't know if this is going to work out today, but we'll see, we'll see. I think I do remember how this works. I'm just going to make one test playthrough for the first couple of seconds here, see if I get the timing right, and we'll see how this goes. So you will basically hear what I'm going to play in now, and I hope everything is going to work out. So, let's go. Okay, so hold on a second. I think the volume is like a little bit of this stuff is like way too loud compared to this. So let me turn this down a notch here. This is like way too loud. Let's have a listen to this quickly. I want to see if this is kind of like right. Now it's more fitting. Okay, cool. I don't know why this is also not loud enough. This is very, very, very confusing, but whatever. We are going to do it like this then. All right. I like the tone. This cap here fits the whole thing a lot more than the other one, I think. I'm not quite sure, but it should be all right. So timing-wise, this seems all right. The one thing I want to do is like I do want to maybe increase the highs just like a tad, like a little bit. Okay, and now apart from that, everything was kind of fine. The great thing about this, when you do it digitally, obviously you can adjust things later on, right? So when we have actually recorded everything, you can go here and just play to your heart's content with all the settings and whatnot. So that's an option, of course. But we want to make it sound as good as possible from the very get-go. So let's give this a decent go now. Let's see how this goes. I hope the volume is going to be all right, but it should be, and hopefully we can do this in one take. Let's see how this goes. So that was the very first take. I did notice one slight error here somewhere, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal, honestly. I like it so far. This is I hope they pay you plenty. This is awesome. No, I'm doing this because I want to. I don't get paid for this whatsoever. I'm just going to use this in the video, right? Miranda going to sing in this also would be something special. No, this is an instrumental piece. I did talk to her about this, of course, because she's so good at singing. Wait, there's something wrong here. Hold on a second. Let me just copy this one from here. Okay, better. This is just some instrumental thing that's going to be used in that specific thing. But who knows? We might do something. So, for the people who paid attention in the previous music streams, we know now that we always at least double track whatever is being played here. So, and this is basically for stereo effect. So here's what's going to happen. This is all mono right now. Obviously, it's stupid. It sounds very dull, not very spacious. So what we do is we pan this track hard left 100%, and we are going to record this one here, and we are going to pan this one all the way to the right 100%, and this is going to create some very nice stereo effect. Now, the problem here is you have to play everything precisely as it is right here. That's the challenge of it. So let's see if we can get this done. was that at the end? Oh god, no. Let's just... let's pretend this never happened. Hold on a second. Let me turn this down here. Hey, Chica. So, let's see. I think it happened somewhere over here. Let me activate the snapping over here. There you go. We go over here, we take this and that, and we just cut this weird noise out that was happening at the end while I was kind of like scratching my nose. Alright, so this is 2 tracks now. This is one to the left, one to the right, and I think that sounds pretty good. Now let's have a listen. That sounds pretty good to me. Now, what I usually do, and that's like a little bit overkill, but what I usually do, I record 2 more tracks, which is like I pan one like 90 or 80% to the left and 80 or 90% to the right. That makes it sound even bigger and fuller. We can do that, and I think we will, because it does make sense to me. So I'm just going to copy the exact same settings over here once again. And then we are going to do all of this again. I'll leave this one in the middle now, just so we hear it a little bit better. But you will see how this all comes together, slowly but surely. And this is like what you hear on records, right? When you hear something, when you hear like a fully mixed and mastered tune, this is like why it sounds so full and nice, basically. So let's see how this goes. Alright, as you can see, this can be very tedious at times, but this is how you do it, and this is why I always think it's very funny when people think like, okay, so basically it takes such a long time for these people, whoever it is, right, to record this album. People underestimate how much work it is to simply record a single song. And this one here, I mean, we have the bass already, we got the drums already, and as you can see, that alone, you know, and then you obviously, if you write it yourself, that's also going to take a huge chunk of time. So now we have to do the same thing all over again, but first of all, let me pan this one, like, let's go with 80 first. Kind of like 80 something something, 80 something left, okay. So, and the last one, we're just going to get this in quickly, and then the mellow part of the song is going to start, and then the crazy part of the song is going to start, so let's go. Alright, so that's the first section done. Now all we have to do is pan this one 80% to the right. So we have the nice stereo balance going on, and then... Whoopsie daisy. If I can hit the 80%, this is always one of the biggest struggles here. Goodness gracious, look at this. Ah, there we go, okay. We got the 80, oh my god. So, this is obviously like, there's like a couple of errors here, timing-wise, but that's cool. We just ignore that. From here on out, everything seems to be alright. Let's see. There's two things I want to do now. Not this one. I want to add an EQ, if possible, to all of this, because I heard that there's like a little bit of crazy rumble going on in this with the bass and everything, but we do want it to sound nice and full. What I'm going to do, I'll have a listen to this first, how it sounds like on its own, and then we'll see. Let's have a preview. Listen quick. Cool, okay. That sounds pretty good to me. This is all handy and dandy. Now we have one issue. And the issue is, we have all these 4 tracks over here, and they are all panned left and right, and what have you seen. So, I'm just going to put in a couple more, and add them to this little folder over here. Just like a couple, so we have a little bit more breathing space. I usually take like 4 more, right? Basically, I take 4 more so I can just continue on here. When there's like a break in the song, for example, over here, this is what I do. So there's another thing we need. There's going to be a lead part, of course. There's going to be a couple of things like fills, interludes, and whatnot that's going to be played here in between. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a completely new separate track down here. And let's say, let's give it like 2. What is this, by the way? I don't even know what that is. Just go away. I don't even know where you come from. Anyway, so this is our rhythm track, so to speak. That's 8 tracks in total. And then we are going to have a lead track. And we are going to leave 2 in here. I'm going to take the exact same thing I had over there. I'm going to set it to input 2 because our thing is put into input 2. And then we have to play around a little bit because... Well, for the lead part, you do want to have some echo going on, and you do want to have a couple of things going on in the background. Now, I assume it could already be enough, because I think I set this up correctly yesterday, hopefully. I want to see how that sounds like. We leave the thing as loud as it is right now. It needs to be overpowering the rhythm section for a little bit. Let me just finish my drink here, and then we'll see. I hope I remember how to play this in the first place. Like, I haven't played this fucking thing in, like, probably 7, 8, 9 years or something. So, yeah. I think it was something very simple. Wasn't something all too complicated. I remember that. So... Blood drink? No, it's not a blood drink, Silver Speed. It is not a blood drink. It's just a regular one. I have a nice little whiskey going along with this, if you want to have details. How about like a little bit of reverb as well? Let's just set this up correctly. I want to see how this sounds like. Sorry about that. That's a little bit loud. Let me turn this down a notch here. It's unbelievable. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think that's correct. Like the reverb seems to be in time. Okay, cool. So the first lead section happens when we are sitting in... you know what? Let's doodle along and see what we come up with. I know that the first lead section is basically happening over here somewhere, but we'll see what we can kind of like... It's very interesting what you can do when you add some kind of melodies to it. Have a listen to this. Okay, that was easy. This is basically, this is all that's being played here. In that part, that's where it basically starts after that first intro section. So basically, all that's going to be in here is this. Okay, so that's basically it. Now, when you do this a little bit, when you make it, space it out like a little bit, let's say 50%, right? Then it's going to sound very nice because this. Alright, cool. So we have this done now. This is basically it. What you can do if you want to go crazy, you can record this twice, but we don't have to. We can just play around with this and make it like a little bit more spacious by adding some kind of chorus or delay effects onto this. But now we are sitting here with another troubling program. This here goes down here. Wait a second. This is going to be input 2. Yes, it is. So this is going to be the mellow part of the song. Let me see if I can get this right, because I don't remember this whatsoever. Okay, let's see. Well, shit! I forgot to mute my microphone. I hope you didn't hear any of the string noise. It's something like this. Hey, Private Tomcat. It's something like this. Oh, fuck. How was it again? Oh my god, I completely forgot about this. Hold on here. Oh my god. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Oh my god, what happened here? Okay, let's try this again, man. Now, unfortunately, I think we made a slight little error over here. I heard something there and I didn't like it. Yep. That was horrible, man. Hey, Ethan, welcome. We have to redo this, unfortunately. I cannot believe this. Okay, let's do that again. Can somebody explain to me why we always fuck up in the second one but not in the first? They made a career out of 3 chords. I know that they were simple but very, very successful. What happened here, dude? Like... that's fine. But here, check this out. Ah! No. See, this is the aggravating part about it. That was me freaking out at the end. That obviously wasn't planned, but I fucked up again in the third part. I cannot believe this. So I went crazy, but what the hell, man? yeah, that doesn't really fit. But holy shit, dude. This third part gets me every single time. What is it now? Hold on a second. Let's give this one more try. I'm giving up, man. What do you say? Off topic and just a quick question. What was the Scar L buddy? The Scar L buddy, what he was referring... there was a bug with the gun, Ethan. The sight, now it's in your head. Yep, 100%. No, but seriously, he was referring to a bug with the sight. So back in the day, and for the longest time... shut up, instrument. For the longest time... the Scar L wouldn't work with any optics. It was basically when you put on a red dot sight and when you shoot the gun, it would completely go off-sight and you couldn't really aim the gun because the scope would be somewhere in your pants. It was stupid. And they took like forever to change it. That was like way after the showdown event that we have done. At some point they fixed it. Don't ask me when exactly. It must have been like a hotfix or something like that. Anyway, let's get this over with here. My God, finally. I am so glad. I'm so happy. Thank you very much for nothing. Okay, so yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. So now we have to take this, grab that over here, and we have to record this wonderful rhythm track that goes along with it. I think it starts over here, so we can just ignore this. There's like a clean part that's going to be played here, but we do this way later at the very, very, very end. So first of all, jump over here somewhere. I think it starts over here. Let's go. And again, I forgot to mute the microphone, which is not good. So we have this. Okay, that's cool. Now we need to do the same thing once again. Now I was stupid because I didn't mute my microphone. I need to think about this. This is very, 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 very important. Goodness gracious. Okay, we got it. I think. Hey, Stu. Welcome, buddy. And 2 more times. 2 pitiful more times. That's always the best part about it. Does that sound right? Let's have a listen. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Okay. What was that? Uh-oh. Oh no, man. I'm lazy, so I won't even try to kind of like needs more cowbell. Oh, the crazy part is still going to come up here. This is a very long song, Ethan. Wait. We can actually leave it like this. You know what? I want to try something. What was that here? I don't even know what that was, but let me try something crazy here. I don't know if this is going to fit, but we can maybe come up with something, you know, because every song needs a little bit of No, that was weird. I don't know if I like that. The beginning was nice though. That kind of fits, but the volume was a little bit crazy here. So let me try this again. We get to this when we get there. I'll keep that in mind. I'm not quite sure yet. We leave these two tracks as they are. They are only going to be double tracked here in this midsection because we want this lead part to stand out and not mud it up with all this rhythm crap. However, there's going to be something crazy happening over here in a second. So this is going to be the fast part. Let's see if we can get this right. First of all, we need the volume, okay? I'm going to pan this all the way here and all the way there. And in fact, I believe what I can... Nah, it's fine. It's fine. We do it like this. And we are going to cut this up here. Hold on a second. This is... I think this is a little bit too much over here and there. So let's just get rid of this. I don't know. There's just like weird noise happening. So from here on out... Okay, perfect. We have some time to jump in here. Perfect. Couldn't be any better. So let's do this. Hey, Nick. Alright, so this is going to be our first rhythm section. Please be alright with the volume. What? Alright, okay. You are fine with the volume. But you know what? Since we are going to completely rock the fuck out now, I'm just going to, boom, boost this up a little bit. Okay, let's go. This is the fun part of the song, man. I completely forgot when it starts. Hold on a second. Whoa, what the fuck was that? Hold on. Okay, so basically right there. Oh my god, this is wild. Who came up with this fucking song? You know what? You know what we are going to do? Fuck this. Fuck this. I'll do this here, all of this now. We just do it from here. That's going to be it. Yes. And you can remain where the fuck you were. There you go. It's going to make it much, much, much easier. They busted a child trafficking ring out of Disneyland. What the? Are you serious? Oh my god. Dude, this is insane. Mr. Q there. Yeah, I know. I could act surprised now, but yeah, I'm not really surprised. Anyway. Okay. Let's get this. Oh, this is going to be so fun. I haven't played this in years. Let's see if I can still do this. So we let this play out, and then I just jump right in there. This is the most fun thing I've done in a long time. Okay, this is pretty fast. Let's see if we can get this done a second time over here. Let's pan this all the way here. Let's pan this all the way there. It's going to have this nice stereo effect right away. Alright, that was pretty good. Now we do the same thing again over here and over there, and then this is going to become very nice. And I think then we can go over to the solo stuff, hopefully. Let's do it. I think there's something. I don't know if the other stuff would sound better if we just stay in one and don't do the. Not sure about this. I hear it when it's done. This is basically no, not right, left. This is basically something that you can only tell when it's actually there. You know, I don't think it's going to be an issue, but I don't know. I guess we'll see when it's done. My god, I almost deleted it. It sounds very good. Yeah, it does sound okay, but I'm not so sure about like one specific part there. I don't know if I want to keep this this one part here. There's like this little thing at the very end, like in the second section that goes like it's basically this thing this here. I basically played it like this, but maybe this sounds better. You know, without that note that goes out of line. But let's have a listen to this first, and let me turn it down again because now we are going to be way over volume here. Let's go down a notch here. There. Okay, let's listen to this. But we take the main section first. I don't know. I think it works. We don't have to modify any of that shit. And yeah, I think that's okay. We can leave it like that, honestly. Right. Sounded fine to me. Yeah, it's just going to work out, I guess. I don't even know if I used that part in the fucking intro. That's the funniest part. I don't even know. Right. So now the really fun part starts. Let me have a look at this here. Are we going to take this one? I don't know. Oh my god, it sounds like some animal is stepping on the thing. Okay, it should be okay. I don't remember how this works, so bear with me. This is the one part that I do not remember whatsoever. It's going to be super fun. Dude, I don't remember at all. How did that go? There's like this little jazzy thing going on in between. How did that go? Fuck, man. I don't remember how this works out. Oh god. Did I even record this? No, I did not. Great. Shit. No, I think we have to improvise here because I will not remember this at all off the back of my head. Let me try something weird here, yeah, I guess. Okay, I got no idea what the fuck I've done here. There's like a little trick that we are going to add to this in a second. Let me just listen to this because I was just I got no idea what happened. Let's have a listen here. This is where you should have the camera so we can watch you rock with the guitar. I like how you write that. Okay, let's have a listen to this. I don't know, dude. Let's pan it a little bit like to the. It doesn't need to be center. And here we go. Let's listen. You guys, I didn't even notice that this track is still on center. It doesn't, and I'm like, why does it sound so out of place? What is wrong with this? Why is this so inaudible? Unbelievable. Just got home. That sounded just like my car revving on the autobahn. Yes, pull out the webcam. No, I don't have a webcam. I would if I could. Let me see. So this sounds a little... Oh, I just started listening. Only thing I can say from what I'm hearing so far is the sound is maybe a tad mid-centered. Yes, that is exactly what I want. Maybe a hint more treble. Okay, we can try that as well. But first of all, I think this was caused by that track here being completely up in the middle and in center, because that wasn't supposed to be the thing. I don't know how this happened, but hopefully this is going to sound a little bit better now and not as muddy as before. This thing, I hate it. Okay, let's go. You know what I think would help? Hold on a second. There's like a little old trick in the book. I will test it first though. So we've chosen the right channel, right? So I'm going to mute this track over here. This is going to take away a little bit of the crazy stuff going on here. We go 50% first. to the right. I want to see how that sounds without this track running in the background of all of this. Hopefully this is going to make it a little bit more audible. Huh. Interesting. I don't know if it did something. I don't think it did anything crazy here. This is just going to serve... I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think it's just a volume question, honestly. If I dial this back a notch here, right? And if I go down here, and what is this sitting at? 0. Yeah. 0 is fine. I don't know, man. I'm confused by this. This should be way more standing on. All my ears are just fatigued right now. That could be the case too. There's a bit around the 1819. Feels like it's scrambling my head. Sounds freaking amazing and all. Not saying anything bad. This is not letting me go right now. This should be way more. Wait a second. Hold on a second. Maybe we can make this work if... See, this is the part where you go in and... Okay, let's take away from this a little bit here. This is not necessary. It really is only a volume question at this point in time. Honestly, like, I'm pretty sure it is. Let me have a listen to this now. Yeah, basically, it was only volume. Okay, cool. That's been solved by a simple click in the middle. How nice. Now, the interesting part, the other interesting part. This is going to be interesting because... Let me grab one of these. No, wait. No. Don't let me grab one of these. Let me first make 2 tracks over here. And then let me grab one of these. But first, input 2 and input 2. And then we are going to grab one of these and put it in here. And the reason for this is we are going to switch to the clean channel. Yes, that's right. So this is going to be funny because I've got no idea. I've got no idea what's going to fit in there. First of all, we need to get the tone right? Because without the right tone, there's nothing we can do. Well, how does that sound like? Oh god, nothing. Okay. That is not clean. Hold on a second. There's way too much gain over here. Oh, it sounds nice, but it's not what we want. Why is it so? Oh, it's like a western or something. Well, first of all, we need. Oh my god! It's because of the fucking tube screamer. I come. Oh, typical. Okay, now it should be clean. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So now we can go in, add this in. Oh, how nice. Alright, so we want more treble. We want a little bit more presence. We do want a tad less mids. And that's basically it. Alright, now we need to go all the way over here where the little section was where is it? I think it was here, right? Yeah. It should have been here. This is not the greatest intro. This is just a tribute. Okay, let's see. I don't know if this is... No, that's not it. That's the other thing. Here! That's what I was looking for. Yes! Okay, cool. First of all, I have to remember how this even goes. So let me figure this out. Holy shit, the volume is way off here. Way off. Oh, how was that again? Wait, let me try and get this. First strike on those chords gave me House of the Rising Sun. How was that again, Ethan? Stu. How did that work? Oh my god, I don't even know. Yeah, that's it, right? I don't remember how this works anymore. Anyway, so how did we come up with that now? I don't even know. Fuck, how did this work? And then, like, it goes over to something like just the sound of the... Ah, okay. I think it was like a C. I don't know, man. Okay, let me try and get this right here. Fucking. By the way, where is that weird note coming from out of nowhere? There's like a weird thing happening. Like right before... And I don't know where that comes from. Hold on a second. There. Is that in here? You don't even see the motherfucker. He's somewhere in there. We are going to remove him right now. That must have been when I lift my hand up the thing. Is it still there? Wait. Aha. What? Where is that? Oh, it might be here. You don't see it, but it's there. Trust me. What the fuck? Okay, wait. Let me remove this here. It's gotta be there. There's nothing else there. Ah. There it was. Sometimes you don't even see that. At the end, if you have any song requests, I have one for you. Shoot ahead. Just give me your request. We can have some fun. I don't mind. What the hell? Where did that even come from? I don't understand. It was just in there somehow. Okay, let me try to get this done now. Oh, I forgot we only have 2 tracks over here. Now, this is rather stupid because in that case we need to make this a little bit louder. Like I would say about 3.8 here. This sounds about right. I don't know because we only have the 2 tracks here. This might actually... Okay, I think that's okay now. There's a reason why I just wanted to have this as a double track. And then we got the clean part over here. What I can do quickly now is, where's the other one? I think that was here, right? But we also... The best thing I can probably do is this. This is also where the solo is. Yeah, it's also where the solo is. Okay, let's not do this. Let's rather do it there, in that case. Also, oh my god, I'm sorry about that. Sometimes it does help when you... Yeah, and so on and so on. Why are you panned to the... Stop that. We want this to be kind of like... Wait, I want to see if this works. I think the sliding stuff isn't really fitting there. It's a little bit weird, but I like the melody kind of crap. So we do it normally, just without the sliding crap. But maybe, you know, when you switch to the neck pick. Anyway, I'm getting too technical again. Let's just do it. If you haven't noticed, I made a grave mistake here. I have zero music sense, and making it's not something I can understand. But when I see what I see here, instead of human with a guitar in hand, that is pure voodoo witchcraft. It's worse than that. It's worse than that. Oh my god. Okay, and by the way, I don't even take off You're Cool by Outkast. Do you think I can implement some kind of guitar work in there? I don't know. Hey, Rego. Okay, let's finish this. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know what I did there at the end, but it might be okay. Not sure. I think we have to do this because I got this part here. I'm stupid! I completely forgot about that, but luckily we can adjust the volume here on the fly. Let's make it a little less in your face, you know? Let's see if this works out. I can't pan this though. Oh my god, this is horrible. Okay, I have to make a new track for this. There's no other way. We have to insert that track over here. We take the same thing over here. Luckily we selected the neck pickup, so that's cool. You go down here and you stay there, okay? You do nothing else here. Right. And then we don't need to adjust the volume here anymore. We can do it here. Ha 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 ha. Okay, let's have a listen to this. Okay, sounds good to me. We can leave it like this. There's like this little thing here at the end. I don't know where that's coming from, but whatever. Let's put it away. And now I have to make sure that this is still alright, because I don't know. Something might have gone wrong here now. Okay, cool. I think we are done here. This is the ballpark. Now the whole mixing thing would basically start, where you kind of like adjust the tone a little bit. You make sure that everything is in place and blah, 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 blah. But we are not going to do that. No, we are going to have some more fun. The only question is how. The only question... Oh, and by the way, the one thing you should not forget at all is, please, man, save. We haven't saved this thing since we have started. Which is incredibly stupid. So let me save this as... we are going to call this the Scum Supermax Series Intro Episode 1. So I know what the hell this even is. There you go. And that's that. Now, what's this? What's this Outcast thing? Outcast made a slow song with Norah Jones. It's not a fast song like usual. It's just guitar and her voice. Interesting. And you want to hear that, huh? Hold on a second. Let me see if I can figure this out. First of all, we go to the dum-da-da-dum-da-dum intermission screen, which is apparently still Into the Dead. Okay. So where would I find that song? Let me see. Let me see. So it's going to be Outcast. Outcast. And then we have... It's called... Okay, I think I found it. Interesting. I don't know what that is. I've got no idea. Let's have a listen to this. Wait, am I going to get blocked for this? I don't know. There's a good chance I might. I don't know how these Outcast people react when you play something wrong. Don't play it? But I want to hear it, man. Isn't it stupid that you can't even... You know? I think it's pretty fucking stupid that you can play something like this. Just because somebody says, okay, you're stealing money by playing our song. And I'm like, can you look up the notes? No. You know what? Fuck it. Here we go. I want to hear this now. What is this? Play it. Oh, it's 2 minutes long. Okay, here we go. So basically... Okay, we need like a clean... I just realized it's acoustic. That's okay. That's completely fine. we have means to do that. Only thing we need to do is kind of like go over here, and then we set it up correctly. There you go. I can maybe add some flavor to it, you see. Hold on a second. So we take it like this. Ooh, it's got like a nice echo to it. Okay. And then we go over there. Uh-huh. And then we do it like this. Now this might be the wrong tuning. Let me see. I'm pretty sure these guys are probably in standard tuning. Let me see if this... What the hell have I done now? It doesn't work anymore. What? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what that was. That was quite impressive. So let's try that again. I want to get this down here. So it's basically, this is clearly E standard. So, oh my god, something happened to my... This song destroyed my instrument. It's something like that, right? Something like that. That's basically 3 chords. Very, yes, very similar. Mm-hmm. You know what the funny part is? When you have something like what I used to like back in the day, it was I would put on something like this and I would just... Right strike, so that's cool. I'm just going to, if something like this happens, I'm just going to edit it out in post, whatever. It doesn't really matter. They are not going to catch us. That's for sure. Alright, so since we have completed this, and I'm very, very happy with that, all I have to do is basically mix that later on. Let me save this one more time. Save, yeah, just like that. No, wait, save it like this, please. Thank you. Now, what else can we do quickly? What else can we do quickly? we go ahead and do something crazy. Since we've already gotten a copyright thingy, which I'm very sure it's going to happen. It's kind of funny that you can't even play certain things any longer. Oh wait, you guys can't even hear that because... Oh my god, I'm so stupid. So again, like, what do we do now? That's the big question. Something fun, I assume, you know? I don't know. Do you guys wanna rock out for the end? Or do you want something smooth? Hey Wombleboss, welcome. Supermax? Yeah, we are going to jump onto the Supermax. You are right about that. It's going to be a pain in the ass because I will reconstruct the entire outer wall. Such a fun thing to do. But that's planned for like in 40 minutes. And I'm only going to take like a short break in between. But now I actually want to have some fun. I really want to have some fun right now. How do we have some fun quickly? Without getting ourselves in trouble. Wait, I have an idea. It depends. Is Silversmeden still here? Because if he's still here, I have an idea. And that rhymes, by the way. I don't think he's still here. He might be drunk in a corner right now. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be here any longer. Well, I don't know. I do not know. What a shame. What a shame. Well, there's one thing we can do. He's probably drinking his Jaeger. Yep, he's probably in this weird bar hiding from the German authorities because they want they want money. They want money, 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 money. Anyway, I'm going to play something for him. It doesn't matter if he's here or not. Who gives a shit? I'm just going to abuse. I'm totally going to abuse this track right here in order to do that. But first, I need to do this. Hopefully, it works. It seems to be working. He always wanted something. He wanted to hear something, you know. If I go up a little bit with the presence over here. Because I know this is going to be a little bit brighter. Okay, let's see. I think that's kind of like it. I don't remember if it actually sounds like this. I've got no idea. We'll find out. So first of all, I have to grab something. And you are not supposed to see this. So I'm just going to switch the screen. Because I can. And I can mute the guitar. And then I'm going to grab... wait, we are going to take this. And we are going to complete this over here. Then we are going to go over there. I'm going to grab this. Drag that all the way down here. No, wait. We don't need that. I'm stupid. We are not going to do this. And then I'm going to go into the secret folder. I call it the Silver Speeding folder. And I'm going to grab this. And then I'm going to do this. And at some point it's going to be ready. Like right now. And then I'm going to turn down the volume over here. And then we can do it. But there's one issue. This is going to get us a copyright thingy, but I don't care. Because I'm just going to edit it out afterwards in post. So, I don't know how this works anymore. I hope I get this right. So, Silversmeden, you have about... you have about 12 hours of time to watch this. If you're too late, you're too late. Then it's not going to be there anymore. But yeah, this is what he wanted to hear like ages ago. So there you go. And then we are going to hopefully switch over to the Supermax server in Scum. In one piece. Let's have a listen. What the hell? What the hell was that? There's something weird going on. I don't know if you've heard that, but... Oh my god, of course it's playing this. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. It was playing this in the background and I was like, wait, what the fuck? Where's that coming from? So every time I stopped playing, this thing would come up. That is not a big deal because what we can do quickly in order to fix this. Well, the easy way is to just delete this track, honestly. Whatever, man. I'm just going to drag this down here now. Unbelievable. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where's that coming from? There's like a weird sound. Typical. Typical. Is that right now? Uh-huh. Apparently it's not right. Why is it not doing anything? What the hell? Oh my goodness. You know what? We make it easy for ourselves now. Because I do want to get this over and done with now. Yeah, that works. So grab, whoopsie daisy, grab these two idiots over here so they don't interfere anymore. Good. Wow, that sounds really good. A bit like, wait for it, Wacky, wait for it. So how did this go again? Okay, this is basically how it goes. So let's have some fun. Okay. Whether he hears it or not is not our concern. All I know is I've played it now, so he can shut up. All right, guys. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this little recording session, and we will return in about half an hour on the Supermax server, if you want to. So, see you then, and bye-bye.